Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Tuesday, February the 12th, and welcome to our video commentary. Well, last night, President Trump was in El Paso delivering a speech. I basically agree with pretty much everything he said. I didn't watch the whole speech, but reading some of the headlines and catching some of the parts on the radio and so on, I think I basically agree with the message about the wall. On the other hand, there was another, like a counter demonstration by former Congressman O'Rourke. I didn't have a chance to hear everything he said. A couple of the things I did hear, I thought were very unrealistic. You know, the idea that walls don't work. Well, walls do work. That's why people have them. But for me personally, the most frustrating part about this whole debate about the wall is that it seems that everybody gets obsessed with immigration and we forget some of the other issues that I think are just as important. Everybody gets obsessed on immigration or about immigration, so one side goes one way, the other side goes the other way, and you know what happens. We don't talk to each other. But there are really more important issues, in my opinion, than just immigration. And I think, of course, the traffic of drugs is extremely serious. I mean, the drugs coming into the United States through Mexico, it's a pretty big number. Now, people say, well, more drugs are coming in through other places. Fine, I accept that. But shouldn't we do something about the ones coming in from Mexico? I certainly think so. And then you have the way, the whole human trafficking thing, the way many of these people are being treated by coyotes, by cartels. I mean, it's really a humanitarian crisis, and you cannot say anything other than that. Then you have the other side of the border, which is, I think, just as important because it indirectly affects us. And that's what's going south to Mexico, the cash, the guns, the violence in Mexico, which these guns obviously are very much a part of, the cash, with corrupting a lot of the politics in Mexico. We just had a trial in New York today. El Chapo was found guilty. He has not been, the verdict, or I should say the final step has not happened yet, but he's been found guilty of everything. And when you look at everything that that man was involved in, whether it's human trafficking, drugs, whatever he was involved in, corruption, I mean, this man was involved in everything, and the common denominator in each and every one of those things is the U.S.-Mexico border. There is no way that El Chapo could have made the kind of money he made without the U.S.-Mexico border. The guns that his cartel was using, a lot of the guns were purchased in Mexico, I understand that, but a lot of those guns come south through the U.S.-Mexico border. So, I mean, at some point, it seems to me that we have to look at this border as more than just immigration. And hopefully when we do that, we'll have a chance to come up with a reasonable solution. I have never felt that a fence from, let's say, San Diego to Brownsville is the answer to the problem, because there are parts of the border where a fence is not practical. There are other parts where a fence is very practical, as we see in San Diego, as we're seeing in El Paso, and so on. So there's got to be here a solution that both sides can agree to. There's got to be an understanding that this is, in fact, a crisis on the border. And I have to tell you, I'm very disappointed with the Democrats, because it seems like all they want to do is say no to Trump. And for a Democrat to tell me that this is a manufactured crisis, check out the verdict and everything that El Chapo was found guilty of. And again, the common denominator in all of those charges is the U.S.-Mexico border. There is no way that his business could have flourished without drugs coming north and cash going south, or guns going south as well. So hopefully we will come to our heads and put the politics aside and deal with this issue correctly as a national security issue. Thank you for watching. We have all of these over at YouTube, Twitter, and my blog. And if today is your birthday, happy birthday. Bye-bye, everybody.